I want to talk about stock selection. I get questions a lot about, how do you intuitively select stocks? How do you intuitively make investment decisions? And the answer is, a lot of different ways, because it's the same answer to how do you receive intuition? It's a very general question and it's very custom, it's very unique to each individual. There are, of course, sort of known pathways, if you will. You may choose to set an intention to receive guidance on a particular topic, to receive an answer to a specific question, and then kind of go about your day and, you know, be in receptive mode and don't be actively looking, and trying to analyze, okay, is that the answer? Is that the answer? Let it come to you because it should be obvious when it comes. Oh, that's the answer. That's the information I've been looking for. And that is kind of the point. When you receive intuition, you generally know that you've received an intuitive hit. It's like people say of, how do you know he or she is the one when you fall in love? And it's, you just do. Same thing with intuition. There's just a knowing when you receive it of, yep, that's it. And you know, it's like you're aware of all the rational arguments against it, but those don't really matter. You take those into account for sure. Um, but you just have this knowing. So, for example, you may be watching television and hear something or see something, and something just jumps out at you. You're like, oh, that's standing out to me. I wonder why that's standing out to me. And it may be that sometimes you have to take that information and kind of play the sleuth and add more information, do some research, which I've talked about in other videos. Okay, I got this hit, but what does that mean in terms of timing, in terms of what's going on in the industry? Sometimes you'll get exactly it of invest today in this. But it may not be that. It may be that you kind of get the sense of something's happening in this industry, in this sector, that really you weren't paying attention to. And you don't really know why something would be happening because right now doesn't make sense. But then lo and behold, 2 hurricanes hit the United States and that affects industries. Or lo and behold, there's a coup in this country and that affects, supply and demand. Or, lots of unforeseen events may happen that affect other things around the world. And sometimes you get hits sort of ahead of time of, hey, pay attention to this. Look at what's going on. Look to make a move in this area. And it may be obvious in that moment as to why, or something is brewing here. May not be yet. But if you make those moves, then you're prepared when something unforeseen happens. And that's when you really capitalize. That's when you profit because no one saw that coming. And it may or may not be that you saw exactly what's going to happen. Sometimes maybe you will get, sort of a vision of, oh my God, there's going to be some catastrophic event and that's going to have these ripple effects and blah, blah, blah. Or it may just be that you get, I get to invest in this company, or I get to pay attention to, the solar energy sector right now, whatever it is. Another way is look at, say a newspaper and a list of companies or a list of stocks and choose to go into that state of innocence that we've talked about, sort of the childlike state where you've emptied yourself. You are no longer viewing the world through your own filter of beliefs, and you're just seeing what is. And as you scan that list, see what does or does not pop out to you. So maybe, you read one name and you don't really feel anything. And then you read another name and it really pops out at you, almost like it's radiating energy. You feel that. And maybe as you go down the list, you feel a couple of others. And then you kind of weigh, okay, what was the most? What really stood out to me? Or, what, these two did. And so I'm gonna go with those. I'm gonna do some research on those and decide whether I wanna buy those, And don't forget too that you can ask yourself extremely specific questions, in that space of innocence. Choose to be of service to your higher self. Choose to receive information pertaining to X stock, or what is, my stock selection for today, or, whatever it is that you want to know the answer to, and see what comes. You may get an answer right away. And if you don't be discouraged. Sit with it. And if you're not receiving anything, then set the intention for the day. Okay, I choose to receive guidance about X, or, more information about this, or whatever the, specific question is that you want an answer to. Set that intention, hold the intention, and go about your day and expect to receive an answer. Again, you're not, on the lookout for it and analyzing, is that the answer, but you know that it's coming. And you know that when it comes, you'll know that's what it is. And then, of course, the big thing is to take action on it. It's one thing to get an intuitive hit, which is incredibly exciting, but that's only part of it. Actually, until you take action on that, it's really, all it is potential information. And you'll find that you still will have some tension around taking action on it, because even though it may come through clearly and you're without a shadow of a doubt, you say, yep, that was definitely intuition, your rational mind is going to be fighting that, and when it comes to particularly spending money, investing in something or placing a bet or whatever it is, there's tension around that, because it's like, well, you know, um, what if I'm wrong and I lose all this money? Or what if I look silly? I told everyone, oh, I got this, hit, and invest in it, and it goes belly up. Maybe you choose not to tell anyone and you still lose a lot of money. There's tension in that. Again, remembering what we've talked about in terms of managing tension, recognize that that's energy and channel it towards your end results. Recognize that nothing is guaranteed in this life, and this is where you decide whether you're really trusting your gut. Have I taken the intuitive information that I've gotten and applied whatever sort of rational information I need to, that I'm now confident that this is the correct move? It may be that you received, the name of a stock or something, but does that mean to invest right now, or does that mean to invest down the line? Maybe something is going to happen in the next days, weeks, months that you should be watching for. But, this is where you may need to ask yourself follow-up questions of, is it true to invest now or later? I recorded a video a week or two ago about this, about the timing of intuition, that, when you get intuitive hits, sometimes the tendency is to immediately act on them and assume that it's intended for right now. And it may be, but it may be intended for a few days from now or a few weeks from now. And it's to you to decipher that. So getting the intuitive information is the first step, but it is by no means the full, complete picture. And it's to you to do what you think you need to in order to decipher when it's true to take action, and then to take action, which is, no small feat either. So those are my thoughts for today. Have a great one. See you tomorrow.